Hello and welcome to our webinar. I'd like to welcome our listeners around Australia. My name is Joe Tadaro, Advisor Education Analyst at North, and I'm going to be taking you through the latest round of enhancements we've made to the North platform. We'd like to say a big thanks to all the advisors who have provided us with a huge amount of ongoing feedback and direction, as this feedback has led to many of the enhancements that you'll see today. There has never been a more important time to ensure that we're delivering new and important solutions to support you, your business, and your clients. We are confident that these changes will help to reduce transacting times and overall cost to serve using the North platform. We also will reduce the likelihood of errors, and today it'll be all about managing risk. So if you've joined us for a webinar before, then you'll know that on the left-hand side menu on your screen, there is a chat icon. If you select that icon, you'll be able to ask a question. And please, I welcome any questions at any time throughout today's session. Also, if you're having some audio issues, I'd suggest that if you can, is close your browser down and reopen it, and that should fix it up for you. But if you're still experiencing some ongoing issues, today's session will be recorded and then uploaded to North Online. So it's uploaded in the support menu on North Online. So I'll show you where you'll find that on North. We'll just jump onto North Online. Across the top, under the support heading, head down to training videos. We'll head there. And we'll scroll down all the way down to webinar recordings. And this is where today's session will be uploaded. So you're able to revisit the content if you like, or if you want to, you can refer a colleague as well. So still on that support tab across the top, down to training resources, and this is where you're going to find your step-by-step guides for North Online. Anything transacting on North Online, including how to switch investments as well. So further to that, we've got news and announcements, and that's where you're going to find pivotal and the most up-to-date information about using North Online. So without further ado, let's get back to today's session, as we do have a bit to cover. So today I will introduce you to the new exciting changes, and you'll be able to get a glimpse of the new features and learn their application on North Online. We'll also provide a system demonstration to see the changes in action up close and personal. We'll finish our session today with the support tools that you can take back with you into your practice. So without any further delay, let's delve into these enhancements. So I'd like to introduce you to the improvements we've made to North in 4 key areas, each of which today I'll take you through comprehensively. The main enhancement this month is a big one, and it's an uplift to the investment switch process. The investment switch function is one of the most highly utilized functions on the North platform, and that is close to 100,000 investment switches performed every year. We're now providing more information before your switch is submitted so that you have the confidence and control you need to manage your client's needs and priorities. So now you can view your client's proposed portfolio and their asset allocation after the switch and compare that to their prior position. So we'll run through all of this in our demonstration later on. So what this is going to do is going to provide you with greater clarity and impact of the changes that you're making on your client's account. Also further to this is a big change. The cash account has now been removed from the switching process. So we'll discuss all of this and more. And this is going to provide you with greater clarity, as you're going to see the cash account settings as well in a new visual widget with hints and tips to remain within the cash targets. And this is all within the first screen when you're switching investments. We've also taken the opportunity to provide and address a few other pain points related to switching, and we're going to talk about that in a couple of moments' time. We've also made it easier for you to identify what insurance premium has been deducted from your client's account. So we do that by showing the insurer within the insurance premium transaction description. So we've added that in there for you. So in relation to reporting, a couple of big ones as well, and this has come off the back of some direct feedback. So advisors and practices out there have been saying, we need a report for family fee aggregation. So we have done that. So there's a new family fee groups report available in the new family fee aggregation menu option. And this report will give you quick and easy access to a list of your clients and their respective family fee groups. So further to that report, we've added another, which is an automated email notification to let you know that your clients receive PYS, or Protect Your Super Inactivity letters. You're out there, your feedback said that we want to know when clients are receiving letters to keep us in the loop. So we have provided that with you now. And that also includes ATO low balance sweeps and the insurance opt-in request as well. So all that information is now at the touch of your fingertips on North Online in the reporting tool. So you can generate a list of your clients via the reporting tool and run reports in the insurance details menu option as well. So what that's going to do is going to eliminate the need for you to contact the North Service Centre to find out which of your clients have been affected by those changes. And that is going to save your business time. And that is going to be a big theme of our session today. It's going to be quick and easy, and it's going to save you time. So let's get on to the big one, switching investments. So with switching investments, as I mentioned, it's one of the biggest changes, but it's one of the biggest areas of North Online. So it's one of the most highly utilized functions, but I'm going to say it's the most important. I've seen many errors originating in practices associated with switching investments. So that might mean incorrect funds have been switched into, or the biggest one is coupling with the investment instructions. So looking at the automatic buy profile setting, leaving cash or investors per buy profile, those two are interchanged and interconnected. So the new look switch screen is going to combat this, and it is designed to reduce errors with greater visibility on transaction, with proposed investment holdings and the cash account settings in clear view. Functionality has been designed to manage business risks and therefore reduce errors. So just looking on the right-hand side of your screen there, you see we've pulled out the cash account. It'll be up there in the top area, and we've got the cash account settings. So looking at the minimum within the target range, and then the excess cash outside of that. So we're looking at the automatic buy instructions. There is a little tab to say if they're on or off, with a helpful hint just below as well, talking about what is going to happen before you even submit your switch. So we've made it quicker and easier to conduct a switch investment. We've provided greater clarity with the cash account settings and proposed before you even submit that request. The ability to switch into multiple term deposits in the one switch transaction. Unable to do that before. The only way you could have previously done it was to add it to your investment instructions. But now you can do it within the switch functionality. Enhance investment search, and we've provided a favorites option. And that is one of my favorite inclusions. A great feature that we've added to that functionality to reduce errors. So you can now view the proposed investment holdings before completing the switch. So before you even submit the request on behalf of your client, you can actually see what the impact of this switch will be before you submit it. So we've also included a feature where we've reduced the occurrence of error messages when the user incorrectly enters the switch to and from amounts or incorrectly adds a closed investment. So it's going to draw your attention to it. It'll highlight and call it out. It's going to save you time. Let's talk about the improvements a little bit more in depth. So we're going to talk about the cash account settings, and this is one of the biggest changes. So the cash has been removed from the switch instructions grid. So being taken out, which will provide you with greater clarity of the current cash and proposed cash account settings. So have a bit of a look on your screen there. You've got the total value of the cash account just there. That shows you how much is in cash right now, what the changes will mean to your cash account. So this is going to be reducing the cash account by $1,000, and then it will show you the position of the cash account thereafter. Further to this side of your screen, on the right-hand side, we've got the cash account settings. So this was the only way to view this on North would have been on that second screen of your switch transaction previously on North, but we've got it here in a great new, easy to see widget at the top of your switch instruction, which will talk about below your minimum. So below the minimum you set on the account, within the cash range up until your target, and then above in your excess cash. It's going to talk about all of this. And I think this is one of the great handy little features is that the auto buy instruction setting is there in clear view. So this has been set to off in this example on your screen, which will be set to leave excess funds in cash. So further to that, just down the bottom, it actually gives you information regarding that to tell you that the cash is above the target, but excess cash will not be reinvested as per the buy instructions. Why is that? Because it's turned off, and that's where you can see it right there. So it allows you to view the remaining cash balance and how it compares with the cash target and minimum setting. I think you'll love these changes. So now let's talk about the switch as a whole and what the changes are. There's quite a few. So the first is there is a new warning and error icons. So easy to see in a yellow color to draw your attention to it. The row headings will clearly indicate the type of investment under the heading. So in this example, we've got term deposits, and you've got term deposits at the top, managed funds and listed securities, and that is lined with your client's snapshot within their account. So it's going to replicate that information. So a lot clearer and easier to read. So the available value to switch is shown in brackets. So previously, if you had investments like managed funds that were awaiting a buy or sell at that time with the fund manager, so with those managed funds might take a week or so for them to confirm that buy or sell, it will now indicate in brackets the amount you have the ability to switch. So you don't have to do any sums anymore. It's all done for you. North Online will do it all for you. Also, when previously switching on North Online, you could only switch into one term deposit. Now you've got the ability to do multiple term deposits as well, as we mentioned. And the last little one that we've added is there is now a bin icon. And that bin icon will remove the investment from the grid if you click on it. So if you wanted to remove one of the investments from there, you didn't want to use that, instead of clicking on add, and there's quite a couple of clicks involved previously, we've eliminated that. Just click the bin icon and it will then remove it. It's making it faster, quicker, and easier for you to use this functionality, especially when you've got a lot of transactions you might be doing in a day. And I can hear some support staff out there. Thanks for your feedback. I know we're getting some feedback already. Just wanted to let you know too, upon the conclusion of today's session, we will have a short survey. So you're able to provide your feedback at that time if you'd like. Also, if there might be some questions that some might ask, you might forget that you might have asked a question after the session, thought, oh, I forgot to ask that. I'm going to collate all of the questions and answers and send that back to you directly upon the conclusion of today's session, along with this pack as well. So you won't have to be frantically writing everything down. So I've spoken about a lot of the features within this grid. Now let's talk about some of the smaller features, which I think will make it a lot easier for you to use on North Online. We're talking about the investment search. So we're making it a lot easier. All you have to do is select the drop-down box, and there's all new functionality that we have entered. So it's been completely re-engineered with the ability to filter by investment type. So this functionality is going to save you time. So selecting managed funds, term deposits, equities, whatever you're switching into for your client, select the drop-down box. It's going to make it a lot easier for you. And we're going to run through this in our demonstration in a couple of moments' time as well. Let's get on to my favorite part, which, funnily enough, it is favorites, adding favorites. So you can select the gold star next to investment to put it in the favorites menu. So this is going to allow the user to quickly access frequently used investments. So within your practice, if you have a favorite amount of investments you do choose from, you just need to put the star next to it. It's going to add it to your favorites, just below there. It's making it simpler, but what it's going to do is going to reduce the likelihood of errors, because it is very easy to switch into an incorrect investment when it has a similar name. And there's a lot of managed funds out there that have very, very similar names, and it's easy to make that mistake. So this is going to reduce that. So now let's talk about error messages. So we're talking error messages. There are improved validations and messaging on screen that reduce pop-up errors and scrolling for the user. So we'll show you this in our demonstration, how it will work. But if you've made an error, or if you're unable to add something, it's going to tell you automatically. It's going to take out that human element to it. So the error icons can be clicked on, providing information on any potential action that they might need to take. So as an example of this just below, we've got the error icon, and that confirms the fund is suspended for selling and needs to be removed to continue with the transaction. So clearly highlights it, calls it out to you. So there's no hidden things when you go to submit the request, no pop-up errors at that time. It's there for you right there front and center. Now let's talk about an important area of why the functionality was added. We're talking about proposed investment holdings. And this has been added to for a proposed portfolio and proposed asset allocation before completing the switch. So all you have to do is select this button right here. It's going to show you what it is currently. So what are the values of investments are currently, what it will be with the proposed, and then what is it like after the change, along with the proposed asset allocation as well. So the emergence of greater clarity is really a decisive factor in the design of the new proposed investment holding screen. No sums are needed, as North Online does everything for you. So if it does everything for you, it means that the power is in your hands to view the impact of the changes you're applying to the portfolio. And that is before you even submit the request. So you can see the impact of the changes that you're making via the switch for your client before it even happens. So functionality again makes it easy to manage. It manages business risk for your practice, and that equates to the reduction in errors. Enough talking from me. I think that we should really jump onto North Online and take a closer look. Let's look at it up close in action. So let's I'll jump on North Online now. So here we are on North Online, just in a client's account, and under the Manage Investments heading, down to Switch Investments, and this is what the switch screen will look at. Remember again, while we're running through this, if you want to ask a question, please ask away at any time. I'll endeavour to get back to you as soon as possible, or if I can't, I'll get back to you upon the conclusion of today's session. So one of the key call outs already is cash account has been removed from your switch. So here's your switch grid. There is no cash account. Cash account is up here. So we've got the total value, the change, and remaining cash. So how does this work? So if you want to switch all of the funds to cash, simply select all. It's going to calculate, and it's done everything for you. That's all you need to do. So how does that look for the cash account? Previously at $580, there's the change, the switch to cash, and this is what your remaining cash will look like. It's as easy as that. Don't have to add any investments. We just simply tick the box or go into cash. Have a look at the right-hand side of your screen there, cash account settings. So we've got the remaining cash in the excess cash. We've got below the minimum. So for this account, we've got a minimum of $0, and there's your target. It may be a percentage target, or it may be a dollar target. It indicates it's dollar just here. There's the target. So the cash account is not below the minimum. It is not within the range. It's actually within the excess cash, because the diagram clearly highlights it's within your excess cash. So what is going to happen with this request once we submit it? Well, the automatic buy instruction setting is off. And what does that mean? It means that the remaining cash above the target in this excess cash area will not be reinvested, as the automatic buy instructions are turned off. So if this was the other way around, automatic buy instruction was turned on, this is where a lot of the errors do occur within practices on North Online. Switching to cash and then not altering the automatic buy setting to leave excess funds in cash. And then we saw a lot of this earlier in the year with a lot of the market volatility. And again, switching to cash comes with that quite a lot. So what it's done is drawn your attention to it and will tell you exactly what will happen to the client's account. It's a really great feature. So let's scroll up just a touch, and we're looking at the proposed investment holdings. So I'm going to click on that. What does that look like? It's going to tell you exactly what will happen currently. So this is the current state of the account, the proposed state of the account, and the change as well. So this is what is actually occurring. So switching out of this investment to cash. Looking at the proposed asset allocation, there you go. Easy to read. And it takes everything into consideration before I've even submitted this request. Not only have I not submitted this request, but I haven't even gone to the second page to review the investment instructions or the pre-submit documentation screen before submitting. So lots of information here at your disposal. You can also download this to CSV if you'd like as well. Let's head back to Switch Investment. So we've switched to cash. What if we want to incorporate the cash account into a switch? So we've got the sell amount and the buy amount. I want to buy some funds. I want to buy $1,000 worth. Let's see what happens. Where am I switching from and to? I'm just switching into that MyNorth Index Monthly Defensive Fund as 1,000. So what it will do is it will use that money automatically from cash. So if you haven't added an investment to switch from, then it's just going to take it from cash. However, have a look at the warning message. Remember we talked about warning messages before. There is insufficient funds in cash to fulfill this order. So please reduce the buy order or increase your sell order. So it will be coming from cash. So let's change this up a little bit. We're going to add a new investment. So scrolling down on the screen, adding a new investment. So remember this handy new feature now, you can define what investment you'd like to add to the switch functionality. So I'm going to choose Manage Fund. I'll choose one fund. I've gone ahead and added this particular fund, AMP Capital. So I'm adding another investment there. Let's change this around. I'm going to be switching into this fund. I want $5,000. I'm going to be switching out of this fund, 4,500. There is a shortfall of $500. And where is that shortfall going to come from? It's going to come from the cash account. And there we go. It will demonstrate it right there in front of you what will happen. So there's currently $580. $500 is coming out of cash as is that shortfall. What is the remaining cash? And this is what it will look like there. Remember that widget now has changed. It moved from the excess cash before in the previous example down to within that cash range, sitting just right there. So if I want to remove that investment, I don't want that anymore. I'm going to hit the bin icon. Only one simple click will remove that from this switch. Makes it so much easier for you. And also clear the details too. So now I'm going to change it. So I want to add a term deposit. So let's do that. Choose term deposits, automatically list the term deposits just here. I'm going to choose AMP. AMP term deposit, going to select my term. I've added my term deposit. And remember, you can add multiple term deposits now within the switch functionality. So we're going to go $5,000. Where is that money going to come from? I'm going to take it from this investment. It all balances out. And again, if there is a shortfall, it'll come from cash. So just on this right-hand side here, we've got a more button. So let's select it to give you more information on term deposits. I'll open it up. And it's going to have the same information we had previously. So you can alter this. So you can alter maturity if you want to, reinvestment, so on and so forth, and update. Also that's available, we talked about that favorites feature, so let's do it now. I want to add this term deposit into my favorites. I might use this every single day. I want to keep searching for it. I'm going to add the yellow star next to it. It has added it to my favorites. I'm also going to add the ANZ term deposit too. Go ahead and add another. Let's try and manage funds. So we've added a few favorites to switching. So how do you view these favorites now? Favorites is just here. So I'll list all of my favorites. So to remove the favorites, simply just unstar. This is going to reduce errors. So I see some errors each month. We're just incorrectly switching into the wrong investment, and this will hopefully alleviate that error. So one other thing I want to look at is suspended assets and warning messages. So let's have a bit of a look. So when I've gone to enter it, we've got suspended for buy transactions. So it'll give you all the information you need at your disposal straight away. So lots of great features on the Switch, on the new Switch features on North Online. Jump onto North Online and have a look for yourself. Have a bit of a play around with it. And I'll tell you about some of the support material that is available to you a little bit later on today's session. So I know that you will love this. So we've got a lot more exciting changes to run through. So we'll just head back. So now let's talk about some of the exciting changes we've made to advisor reports. So within that, we've added new reporting section titled Family Fee Groups. And that is again off the back of a lot of feedback we've received from many practices, advisors and their support staff asking who are in family fee groups. So here we go. We've got a report ready for you. We've created the brand new group for the family fee group that provides easy and quick access to a list of your clients and their respective family fee groups. So the data that's included in that report, that includes members of the family fee group and their client number, the advisor name and number, the group ID type and name, their relationship, the group status, the group created date, and the join group date for each member. And that's a really great piece of information to know when that member joined the group. So let's jump onto North Online again, and we'll have a look at this in real life scenario. Let's jump into North. At the top, under reporting, down to advisor reporting. And we're going to choose the report family fee groups right at the top, family fee groups. So once you've done that, there's a couple of filters. If you'd like to add those, you can filter it by product if you want to, or you can filter it by the group status if you like, active, closed, or you can have all of them in there. You can also alter the advisor. So if you've got a number of advisors when you're in practice, you can search and select advisors if you want to do that, or include all, apply the filters. And once you've done that, the report will be ready for you. You can also then download that report to CSV as well. So I really love, this is my favorite report, family fee aggregation report. Let's jump back. We've got some more reporting changes, as we mentioned, and that's changes to Protect Your Super, or PYS. So advisors are now notified, and you can track clients who have received either the PYS inactivity reminder letter, the ATO low balance sweep significant event notice, or the insurance opt-in request letter. And this eliminates the need for you to contact the North Service Centre to find out which of your clients are affected by the PYS changes. And that is going to save your business time. So that automated email notification will inform advisors when they have clients who have received one of the above letters. To review a list of impacted clients, we've also added new reports available in the insurance details menu option in advisor reporting. There's two of those. That's the opt-in status for low balance accounts and for insurance. So I'll jump back onto North Online to show you where that is. Back onto North Online, we're just going to select the drop down and we're looking for client opt-in status. Two of them for insurance or for low balance accounts. Let's select one. And with the opt-in, you can choose required, not required, or you can keep it as all if you'd like. And again, you can search by advisor to apply the filters. The report will be there for you on your screen. And then of course, you again can download that to CSV as well. And very similar for the opt-in to for the low balance accounts as well. You can also choose the same options, download it to CSV as well. So what are the other features we've added to North Online as well? So a part of that, we've added transaction history screen as a part of the ongoing changes to insurance on the North platform. There'll be some wording updates on North Online to the transaction history and the asset transfer out, and you'll know it as in specie out transaction. So in relation to transaction history on North, the insurance premium transaction type will now show whether it relates to AIA or TAL. So this change will be also reflected in the client review report as well. So on your screen in the example, we've got the premium that's coming out from the client's cash account. So everything comes in and out of the cash account, of course, including insurance fees, and it will indicate in the description where the money is taken from. So it's AIA insurance premium for this example. So further to that, for in specie out, the changes to the information screen will be at the start of the transaction to advise AIA and TAL insurance premiums will cease to be paid once the request forms are received. So once we get them, it won't deduct those premiums for that full in specie out. And that is listed here in the terms when you start the transaction. Not only when you start it though, there'll be a warning message as well. So a new acknowledge warning message will pop up, and that appears if the full transfer has been selected and the client holds AIA or TAL insurance. So the user will be required to act on that warning to proceed with the request. So if you want to proceed with it, it's got to acknowledge warning and hit next. It'll get you through. So it will be before you start that transaction, while you're completing the transaction, and right at the end in the pre-submission screen. So the pre-submission screen confirms insurance cover will be cancelled upon the completion of the transfer out request, and premiums to AIA and TAL will cease to be paid. So we had a lot of exciting changes and a lot of content that we have covered, but I want to tell you about some of the tools that are available to you out there. So we've got tools that are front and center on North Online. We had already mentioned that support tab across the top, where you'll have training guides, step-by-step guides. This webinar is recorded and uploaded to North Online under training videos and webinar recordings. But front and center, we've got the Walk Me on North Online, which you can see what's new button on your home screen on North. Click on that, it's going to pop up and it'll give you a walkthrough of the changes whenever you want to do that. So discover our latest updates and changes. It'll walk you through them as well once it goes live. Also, on North Online, there is a take a tour button as well within the Switch Investment screen. So within that, you can take a tour and it'll walk you through each of the changes step by step. So in this first step, we've got understanding your cash account. It will tell you about that, and it'll take you through all of the changes. It'll take you through a big tour of all the changes. So there are the changes and enhancements we've made to North Online. I want to ask to please keep your questions coming, and we've had quite a few. So if I can't get back to you, I will send you an email directly. But as I mentioned before, I'm going to collate all of the questions that you guys ask, along with the answers, to get them out to you upon the conclusion of today's session, along with this pack as well. And this webinar is recorded and will be uploaded to North Online, as I showed you earlier. So we'll keep it open for a couple minutes more to make sure you get your question in. Again, this has been recorded. Of course, you can refer to it at any time. We'd also ask that you stay tuned to news and announcements on North Online for any upcoming webinars that we do have and any pivotal information for your clients as it comes to hand. We'd very much like to thank you for your attendance today. Thank you very much. We're very confident that these changes will help to reduce transacting times and overall cost to serve with using the North platform. Will also reduce the likelihood of errors, as you've seen, and therefore managing risk. So I'm sure that you'll like these changes too. To provide feedback on these changes, please take the time to fill in our short survey, and that's going to just pop up after today's session. We very much look forward to seeing you all again soon in our next webinar. From me, Joe Tadaro, thanks very much. We'll see you soon.